everyone, what is up? Hopefully you guys are having an amazing day. Today we're going to be talking about what's happening with XRP and the XRP community. Now in CoinMarketCap, XRP is really the same as before, but we are a little bit in the green today. So guys, before we jump into news, I'd like to say I'm not a financial advisor, nor is financial advice, just for entertainment value only. Peter Pumpkin to you though.
And I think the focus should be on the use case. The crypto markets tend to show tokens rising or falling as a unit. There doesn't seem to be that much distinguishing in the price. But I think in terms of the long-term success of these projects, they have to have some sort of a real use case. And it's not enough to say smart contracts, like smart contracts for what? It's not enough to say Internet of Things, like what specific Internet of Things are you doing? Cloud storage, anonymous transactions, all these different use cases. And again, we think they all come back to payments. So fiat currencies are backed by governments. Governments ensure their scarcity and value. Digital assets, of course, are not backed by governments. They're backed by cryptographic algorithms. And what I mean by that is that their scarcity and value is ensured by cryptographic algorithms. Bitcoin uses proof of work. Ethereum, as you know, proof of work. Although Ethereum is now switching to proof of stake, they encountered some of the obstacles with proof of work. XRP uses a different algorithm that we call consensus. And I have to back up 1 second here and just point out what this algorithm is doing is solving exactly one problem, and that's it. Every other problem we can solve just by having all the data open, so you don't have to worry about trusting someone else to know whether or not someone has the funds for a transaction. Everybody knows the transaction validity rules. They know the digital signature algorithms. You don't have to trust someone else to tell you if a transaction is valid. The only issue that you can't solve by everybody enforcing every rule is ordering transactions. You can have conflicting transactions where someone tries to send the same asset to 2 different people, and you need some rule to order 2 valid but conflicting transactions received at about the same time. That's all consensus does. So that is something that nobody should particularly care about anyway. It's deep in the plumbing. It just has to work. Just like if you want to spend Bitcoin, you don't care about mining. It just has to work. It's the same thing. It's just that way of resolving the double spend problem. And because we resolve the double spend problem in a more efficient way that's more cooperative than competitive, we have significantly better performance metrics than many other digital assets.
It just has to work, guys. XRP doesn't need mining, is cheaper than Visa, already mass scale enablement, is basically free per transaction, has virtually no energy burn. This is why XRP is the standard. Next week comes from Boy XRP.
And it's one of the reasons why many of the innovators out there have said, look, this is just so clumsy and clunky. Why can't we just get rid of all this and do something much more elegant, which is just to use peer-to-peer payment and use technology and harness blockchain technology to the full and just bypass all of this very messy plumbing. And that argument is reinforced by the fact that at every step in this chain, there will be a commission, there will be some costs involved for both the payer and the receiver, so that you could imagine, you could make some calculations as to how much the rents that there are embedded in the system that could potentially form the price pool for innovators who can bypass.
A lot of plumbing, guys, a lot of plumbing. The world will need XRP. Next it comes from XRP Yo-Yo.
We were the first country to introduce a digital taxation in 2019 for one single reason, very well explained before, which is that there is a loophole in the international taxation system. The loophole is digital activities. The biggest companies of the world are making huge profits with millions of consumers in territories where they do not pay their due taxes. Nobody can accept that, and we will never give up. Let's be clear. We have decided to introduce a fair digital taxation at the national level. It has been paid in 2019. We have just given some time to have an international solution at the OECD on the basis of the excellent work done by the OECD, because I think that we are all the view that it is far more preferable to have one single international solution for a fair and efficient taxation of digital activities, instead of having many national taxations all over the world, especially in Europe. That's our point. But let's be clear, in 2020, all the digital companies that are under the scope of either the OECD or national taxation will have to pay. But we want to give it a chance to this international solution. So we have found an agreement with Steven Mnuchin. We are still in the process of defining the basis at the OECD, and I think that it is far better for all of us to have an international negotiation at the OECD with the view of finding a compromise and an agreement by the end of 2020, instead of entering into a trade war between the United States and Europe, because a trade war would have two consequences. First, a slowdown in growth, and then it would mean the end of the international negotiation, the end of an international solution for both digital taxation and minimum taxation. So I really think that we have all to give its chance to this international negotiation. We are united in Europe, and I hope that by the end of 2020, we will get this new international taxation system.
Hungary, this puts a lot of pressure on you and your organization to...
How to tax the digital economy. Tax on challenges posed by global economy. Next week comes from New Creation Capital. I just came across this doc from IMF News in 2004. XRP is in this over 400 times involving money and possibly new monetary regime. This is mind-blowing. So look at this, guys. A lot of XRP named and mentioned in this document. You guys think about this. This is very huge. Again, is this where Ripple got term XRP? Now, guys, we're into the fun part of XRP and the XRP community. So PRX, we can see here 0 doubts. XRP, Mr. Pool posted this. We can see trust. So guys, just trust. Next week comes from Ram the Weird. Increase XRP within 10 days. You decide which days and within 10 days. I have 35 days left to leave Twitter. If you misunderstood, increase your XRP within 10 days. So guys, I'm guessing 10 more days. Something shall happen, but who knows? Next week comes from Blue Eyes. We can see here, looks like lights out, guys. And then if we go right here, be ready on 9th of June. So it does look something might be coming very soon. Next week comes from XRP Joker. The Black Swan is dancing with the Phoenix. The opportunity is still alive. Purchase of bargain, price is to come. They don't want you to get in. In this environment, emotions will be your detriment. XRP Joker wants you to get in. Be ready, be adamant, hodl on. Again, guys, just hodl on and be patient. Penalty for today's video comes from Bob Cooks, T-17. We can see here. So today looks like there's supposed to be a launch, but it got rescheduled because of the weather, it looks like. That's the delay, guys. But anyways, guys, hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. If you guys did, please leave a like, subscribe if you guys haven't already. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully you guys are having an amazing day, and you guys, see ya.
It's an easy model, kids. Easy meaning you need none of your own money. Most of you have no money, so you fall into that category easily. And secondly, it's there's a plethora of opportunities now. You may hate President Trump or love him, but he has changed the financial world forever. Forevermore. Whether you're from Cambodia, England, Netherlands, wherever the hell you're from, he has changed the market forever, ever. They announced a couple of days ago the numbers for unemployment, et cetera, in the United States. 50, 60-year records. And how have you benefited from the greatest transformation of wealth in the history of mankind so far? This is the beginning of the greatest economic cycle this country has had since World War II. And I knew the things that Donald would do, and he hasn't even got started. But this is the eye of the motherfucking storm, the perfect storm. It ain't never going to get any better. Never. This is perfect for the QLA model. If I could have written a prescription or a formula, I couldn't have written it any better. Low interest rates, money's free, you stupid. Massive chaos. And Donald's going to rip the mother economy apart. And he's going to for practice in a good way. This is it. It ain't never going to get anything better. This is like a multiple orgasm the rest of your life, you fucking slags that are in the audience. This is it.
Sometimes I don't want to hear what Dan has to tell me. But as I wrote in one of my blogs, the old man, he's always right. Because he's telling you what you don't want to hear about yourself, but what you know is true. And that is, you're not stepping yourself up. You're not stepping your game up. And you get caught up in fear. As Dan says, false expectations appearing real.